It's got to be real.
Be real. Be real. Yes, guys, what's going on? So, I put out a tweet, and there was obviously a lot of basically the tweet first of all, right, which I put out, right, was about and I tagged in Terence Crawford, and I said about time we saw an about time we saw a black fighter knocking the shit out of someone most have been consumed with defense. I think that's the tweet I put out, and I got a lot of stick, right? People who don't really watch me too much talking about, you know, what's race got to do, etc, etc, etc. But here's the thing, right? For those of you who know me, right, know that my favorite fighters are in the ranking like this: Mike Tyson, Tommy Hearns, Muhammad Ali. You know, they're my top 3 favorite fighters right there. You know, I love Roy Jones Jr. Do you know what I mean? I even like Floyd Mayweather Jr. I'm a huge fan of Floyd, but in a certain way. You know, so Floyd Patterson is another one of my favorite fighters. You know what I'm saying? So don't be ridiculous, man. I got flipping Michael Jackson on my wall up there. So putting that aside, right, about me hating black fight. Oh my god, I've heard some crazy shit, man. Flipping, I got Malcolm X on my flipping wallpaper on my laptop, yeah. So okay, listen to me. So let me just get that clear first of all, right, about me being racist to black people. That was the most funniest thing ever. Couldn't be further from the truth, right? Like, I've read Malcolm X's biography about 2 or 3 times. I love Muhammad Ali. Like, Michael Jackson was my idol once upon a time. Like, shut up. Okay, so moving away from that, right, let me talk about, let's go back into boxing, and I'm going to explain my tweet, what I said, yeah? Does race play a role in boxing? Not so much race, but where you're from, what colour you are, them 2 things mixed will play a role in the way you fight. Okay, you can change whatever you want, right? Don't get me wrong, right? Like, for example, Anthony Joshua is a British black fighter, okay? He's not going to fight the same as an American black fighter. See what I'm saying? Okay? But in America, if you are, let's take a look at Danny Garcia, right? He's Latino, right? He's American Latino, okay? If I'm correct, yeah? Let's look at Brandon Rios, American Mexican. You see, look at them fighters, and then you take a look at Lamont Peterson, you look at Adrian Bronner, you even look at the likes of Floyd Money Mayweather. You know, you see the difference in their styles is very, very different. There is a difference between races in America in terms of their fighting style, okay? So, and if you don't think that, you're an idiot, right? It's very easy to say, and it's very, and I call my thing B-Real TV, right? Because I keep stuff real, right? Like, and I'm going to say it like it is. That's the truth of it. The style of fighting differs from race to race in a certain country, how I just explained. Do you know what I mean? But any fighter can take any sort of fighting style if they want to take it and, you know, adopt it and fight in that manner. But you see, Mexicans, for example, are known to be very, very tough. They can take a punch, you know. They can keep coming forward, very rough and very tough. You know, that's why you got Julio Cesar Chavez. You look in history, his style was come forward style. You got Brandon Rios today, come forward style. You see what I'm saying? So, moving on from that, okay, explaining my tweet a little bit more in depth. Floyd Money Mayweather, and I've got a TB hat. I said I'm going to get a TB hat if he beats the shit out of Pacquiao, and he did, so I've got my TB hat. And I rock it proudly, because I'm a proud Mayweather fan. However, although Mayweather Jr. has done a lot of good for the sport, he has done some bad. And I think it is about time that he leaves the sport because of the reason that Floyd Mayweather Jr. He's taken something away from boxing. And I'll tell you what that is. That's the knockout element. He has proved that you can make millions and millions and millions without knocking someone out. Without taking a risk. If you can protect that 0. But what is the downside? The downside to that is cherry picking. The downside to that is being very defensive minded. The downside to that is less exciting fights. Okay? Terence Crawford and D'Arry Jean was a fight where Terence Crawford absolutely knocked the shit out of D'Arry Jean. Terence Crawford faced Gamboa, knocked the shit out of Gamboa. Now, obviously, Timothy Bradley, I mean, I don't even need to go into fighters, right? But there are several black fighters in boxing at the moment who go for knockouts. And if you look in the history of boxing, right, it has been filled with KO black artists. Mike Tyson, he really knew how to knock the shit out of someone. George Foreman, he really knew how to knock the shit out of someone. Joe Frazier, you know, The list just goes on and on and on and on. I could be here all day. Like, even like you could look at the likes of what's it called? Who am I thinking of? Oh my god. Forget it. Okay, but look, there's a lot of fighters, right? Marvin Hagler. Yeah, that's it. I was thinking Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler, alright? You can even look at Sugar Ray Leonard. You look at Sugar Ray Robinson. Amazing KO artist. Knew how to really knock the shit out of someone. However, since Floyd has come, he's brought something with him, which is defense, right? And it's definitely, if you don't think it's affected boxing, especially American black fighters, you're very foolish. See, we look at the likes of Keith Thurman right now, okay? And Keith Thurman, he obviously looks up to Floyd. Look at Andre Ward, he looks up to Floyd. You see what I'm saying? Because you will see this in boxing where you'll get certain fighters, obviously majority of fighters will always look up to Muhammad Ali, they will always look up to Mike Tyson, you look up to the legends of boxing, you even look up to Julio Cesar Chavez, Roberto Duran, etc., right? But then you see there's another thing. Right now, we've got Pacquiao and Mayweather, and the majority of black fighters are going to look up, obviously, they're going to look up to Mayweather. You know, young black fighters coming up and look to Floyd Mayweather. And I think that it's not necessarily just just black fighters. I do think that it's with other races as well, but I definitely think it's prominent with black fighters at the moment. See, on the elite level, Keith Thurman, he's a knockout artist. Why all of a sudden has he gone from being that KO, like, that's what makes him good and exciting, is that he's a KO artist, but he's gone to this defensive thing where he's moving around a lot now. Like, I mean, when you're running from Luis Calaz, I mean, what the hell is that? Why are you doing that, Keith? When, I mean, yeah, it's got a positivity to it, and Floyd and Keith Thurman can box, but it's definitely, it shows that he's been watching Mayweather. We look at Andre Ward, he definitely picks up a lot of stuff from Mayweather, and again, very defensive-minded, excellent boxer, I've got no problem, but it's there, you know? And then we look at Lamont Peterson versus Danny Garcia, and we look at what Lamont Peterson did in that fight, and it's just unbelievable how much he moved around that ring. You know, and we used to see it back in the day with Muhammad Ali, and this was a bad thing about Cassius Clay, was that he used to move around. But again, it's beautiful boxing at the same time. You can't knock the boxing, it's beautiful. But I think boxing definitely needs a mix, and because we've just come off the Mayweather era, I think we are seeing right now a lot of fighters such as Adrian Broner who are letting the defense really infiltrate their style. You know, and he's definitely picked that up from Mayweather, 100%. And then, you know what it is? You can go into boxing and you can see several fighters right now who are altering their style according to Mayweather. And it's definitely, I think, predominantly the black American fighters are doing it. You see what I mean? So that's basically what I meant. Me racist is just like beyond ridiculous, right? But I acknowledge something what a lot of people don't acknowledge, is that race does play a role in boxing when you're looking at regions, where they're from, etc., 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 etc. See what I'm saying? About the Latino, Mexican, American. Do you get what I mean? Things like that, right? Now, since Terence Crawford has come on the scene, let's look at the future of boxing at the moment. I mean, Adrian Broner, right? He went into it. He turned really defensive, right? And we saw when he went up against Marcos Maidana that, nah, that's not his ideal style. He's an offensive first fighter, then a defensive fighter. That's where he's best. Mayweather is a defense first, offense second fighter. You see what I'm saying? Now, is there anything wrong with defense? No, defense is really good, but you have to be able to see. When we look at the young Floyd Mayweather, man, I got no problem with the young Floyd Mayweather. When he was beating the shit out of Diego Corrales, I mean, you got defense and you got offense. I mean, how much punishment did Mike Tyson take in his early career? Really not that much, because he had defense, but he also had offense. You see what I mean? If you can end a fight in 5 rounds, and then and let's look at another fighter who takes a fight to 12 rounds. Who do you think is going to take more punishment? Arguably that fighter who takes it to 12 rounds, unless you've got perfect defense. If you take it 5 rounds and can knock the guy out, and I've got decent defense like a Mike Tyson, then you're going to take less punishment in your career, because, you know, your fights are ending quick. If your fight's running in 1 or 2 rounds, you're not going to take that much punishment if your defense is good in them 1 or 2 rounds. See what I'm saying? But if you're having fights like Tommy Hearns and Marvin Hagler, you're having wars, then nah. Okay, but I definitely think boxing needed this, because I really feel that the black American fighter is it's the pinnacle of boxing. It really, really is. It's the history of boxing. The black American fighter is that elite. It's you look at the best. You look at Roy Jones. You look at Sugar Ray Robinson. You look at even Floyd Money Mayweather. People say it's TBU, right? We look at Mayweather. We look at you know, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, we look at Ray Leonard. I mean, you look at all the greats, a lot of them are black. I mean, you will get Willie Pep, you will get, you know, but you see, the thing is, you will get even a Rocky Marciano thrown in there somewhere. You will get a range of different, you know, you get Julio Cesar Chavez, but you know, you really look into it. I mean, if you look in the top 15, top 20, Henry Armstrong, you look at Jack Johnson, you know, black fighters have been definitely a key, whether it's a cultural thing or whether it's whatever the reason is, right? Black fighters have been apparent throughout boxing history that they are, if you have to say that they are the most standout fighters when we look in history of boxing at the moment. That's just the way it is, you know. Obviously, you get great Mexicans, you get great Latino, you get great white fighters, you know. You will get it, but definitely we can see that the great fighters who were well recognized, who were the best, just happen to be black. You know what I mean? Now, I do think that boxing needs, and I've been saying this for a while, it needs a Tommy Hearns, it needs a Mike Tyson. Boxing needs a black knockout artist. Now, we have got in boxing, we have got the likes of Keith Thurman, but you see Keith Thurman moves away a lot. We have got Deontay Wilder, big, massive knockout artist. We have got an Anthony Joshua, KO, like, he's got massive KO ratio, like 100%. I don't think he hasn't gone 12. He's got 100% KO ratio, Anthony Joshua. Chris Eubank, right? Good power, but he needs to move away from too much defense. Don't let it consume you. Concentrate on the offense. You've got Timothy Bradley. He likes to mix it up, man. He's what you call a real warrior, right? But I do think that they need to, and if we see Adrian Broner moving away from the defense, turning back more to the offense, you know, I think Lamont Peterson, a fighter like Peterson, is best when he's offensive. I mean, we look at, but you see, with Peterson, he boxes really well, but I don't think he's the best boxer. So I'm saying he boxes really well, but I don't think he's the best boxer. He's a bit of both. We look at fighters like, I mean, there's just so many. We look at Errol Spence, defensive, but offense first. Boxing, in my opinion, the majority of fighters, if you look at all the great fighters apart from Floyd, maybe Willie Pep, a few others here and there. I mean, who else, man? I mean, even, you know, when you're doing videos live, you forget names. When you're thinking of so many names, you tend to forget them, but, you know, man, guy who uses shoulder roll, Philly shell, big fat guy, Tony something, I don't know, man. But look, right, a lot of fighters, right, in history have proven that offense first can work. Offense first, defense second. Now, defense first, offense second, we've only seen really a handful of fighters. Only a few fighters have really been able to make that work. So I think personally it's a breath of fresh air in boxing to see Terence Crawford knock the shit out of Deir Jean. I really knock him. I'll not be scared to go for the knockout. You know what I'm saying? Because it seems like nowadays most of the people who are going for the hardcore knockouts are Sergey Kovalev, are the Triple Gs of the world. I mean, if you look at Bernard Hopkins' career, he went really defensive towards the end of his career. Really defensive. He wasn't always that defensive, but he went extremely defensive towards the end of his career. Bernard Hopkins. I mean, but don't get me wrong, right? When I'm talking about defense, and it's a very deep, intricate topic. What I'm talking about is very deep, and it's very diverse topic. What I'm talking about. But truth be told, I do think that recently the black American fighters have decreased in their KO percentages. I mean, even Sean Porter, he doesn't have the knockout percentage. He has the same knockout percentage as Floyd Mayweather Jr. So I'm saying, he tries, but you know, it is what it is. Even when we look at Kell Brooks from Britain, you can't really talk about that. It's more the black American fighters which I'm looking at right now, and I do think that that although you still have knockout artists there who are black, I definitely think that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has impacted boxing on a whole. It's not just the black fighters. I think it's a lot of fighters, but I think in particular black American fighters are letting, and Adrian Broner is the key, perfect example, a young bright star who let Mayweather style get too much into his head, and you can see like when he's just, I mean, he's a better offensive fighter. Why not stick to that? That's what I'm saying. But yeah, comment section below. Please make sure you subscribe. Let me know what you think about what I've said. If you disagree, that's fine. This is my opinion. I think that we will see now fighters looking more for the knockout. And I think it's the fans as well, because fans love winners and they don't like losers. And when you go for knockouts, you can lose. And Mayweather Jr. 49-0, technically probably one of the best fighters to ever live, like technically, but not the most exciting. Comment section, well, not now. He was back in the day, but not now. Towards the end of his career now. Definitely not. When he was young, Diego Corrales, Arturo Gatti. But even then, he was never that knockout artist, you know. He was always a boxer, break you down type fighter, get the odd knockouts here and then. He was he was a good, exciting little fighter, but never was he a, KO artist. He never was. But, neither was Muhammad Ali. But, Muhammad Ali, when he was young, Cassius Clay, different fighter. Muhammad Ali, different fighter. But Muhammad Ali's name was really built after he came back from his ban. When he was fighting George Foreman and Joe Frazier. That's where Ali made his real name, where he became a legend. Yeah, comment section below. Please make sure you subscribe. I definitely think we need another Tommy Hearns. We need another Mike Tyson. We need these knockout artists. There are a few. There is Deontay Wilder. There is Anthony Joshua. There are several, right? Timothy Bradley goes for it. Sean Porter even goes for it. And hasn't got a high knockout percentage. Just go for it. But I definitely think that Mayweather Jr. has definitely 100%, right, affected boxing in a negative manner in terms of the knockout percentages and in terms of people willing to go for the knockout. I'm repeating myself now. I hope that made sense. I hope you understand what I meant by that tweet. Comment section below. Please make sure you subscribe. In a bit, guys.